is so heavenly. I feel it in my soul. Do you feel it in your soul? It's so big. It's so big. It's so big. Bingo day. Bingo day. Bingo day. Bingo. It's yo big day. Oh, ba 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 ba. Bum bum ba da bum 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 bum. Hello, everybody. This is the best day today. We are out here, ever so glowing. We are plussed up. Are you ready? It's your big day. Did you catch the sunrise today? It's always so beautiful to remind yourself that you're actually on a planet. It's insane. I love it. Ooh. Are you feeling that energy? Ooh. Oh. Ooh. 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 It's your big day. It's your big day. So let's jump into this transmission. The actual technical skill sets. This is the Vibe Guide. This is the Vibe Guide. 101. You on you. Here we go. So, how to avoid the woke, toxic healer. So, we are going to avoid the woke, toxic healer. The woke, toxic healer. Oh my goodness. This is a very devastating character, to be honest with you. And as soon as the woke, toxic healer, if I could sum them up in one word, they would be mutants. Things that transform when you say anything. You go left, they go right. You go left. Because that's the only way you can go. The woke toxic healer, now we're going to explain this archetype really well. What's the most important thing about the woke toxic healer? The woke toxic healer. The woke. We are plussing up gods, goddesses, tribe. It's your big day. You have to understand. The woke toxic healer The woke toxic healer. The most important thing about the woke toxic healer is that they're going to fuck you over in the end. In the end. And that's essentially all that we can really do for you. But we're going to bring it into the enlightened realms anyway. You have to understand the woke toxic healer is going to fuck you over in the end. We are sending you our light because the woke toxic healer will actually really hurt you. So what are some signs that you are working with, that you are in transaction with the woke toxic healer? The woke toxic healer. The woke toxic healer. Release. Release. You want to release with the woke toxic healer. Definitely. The woke toxic healer. The thing is, the truth is that they can't actually accept blame in any great magnitude, and they're going to take advantage of the Libra energy. They're actually going to take advantage of the Libra energy. They're going to try to strip the scale away from you. In the end, the entire time. But they would do it in a very, very, very egalitarian sort of way. You may see it, you may not. Because it may not be the issue with the woke toxic healers. And this is what they expect. They expect that you value them more than their actual bullshit. The fucked up shit they want to do just because they want to do it, when it doesn't make any logical sense, and because they want to be the thing that makes everything make sense. We love you. We are blessing up the radiance. You have to understand. The woke toxic healer by default actually needs leverage in your life. It's your big day. Ooh. Are you feeling that energy? These are very toxic circumstances. And really, it's the only way that you can actually wind up with the woke toxic healer. To add all the clarity possible, to end the continuum, to complete the activation. What we need to complete the activation, to leave no stone unturned. The ring-a-ding-ding about the actual woke toxic healer is that they're going to invert the Libra energy. They're going to harm you in the end. There'll be signs along the way. We mentioned earlier that the woke toxic healer is only going to make sense in their own paradigm, in their own construct. Outside of it, it's not going to make any sense at all. They're going to exchange all of the activated and residual toxicity and call it revealing. They're going to call it unfolding. They're going to call it time-space, revealed and unfolded for you. In the end, all the archived is the amorphous energy that is memory that have formed a crystal will be left artificial. The woke toxic healer is a genius. They're toxic because it happens over time. They're toxic because they're toxic. They're toxic because they know. They're toxic because they're crazy. They're toxic because they're charming. They're toxic because they're better than the average person. They're toxic because fill in the blank. They're woke because they're like progressive, and they seem to get, you feel that they resonate with your higher nature. In fact, they may have a higher nature that you can easily sense, which is what's going to make them even more surprising when you find out that they're actually the woke, toxic healer. Yes, it's your big day. We're blessing up the radiance. Yes, we are. They're healing because you can open up to them, and they have the capacity to help you evolve via their nature, which is part of the reason deep down they sort of feel like they're better than you, though they may have come for you, though it may not be completely justifiable. If you tally up the energy with the woke toxic healer, you will see that you have put more into the relationship than they actually have. But somehow, they're going to manage to feel otherwise. The woke toxic healer, how do you protect yourself from the woke toxic healer? Well, you can protect yourself from the woke toxic healer by being fair. If it's a relationship with someone, you have to own the assets. If you have no control of the assets, you're going to have a really terrible battle with the woke toxic healer. And if you don't have control of the assets, you need to prove that you did the work. You need to prove that you did all the work. You did more work than the toxic healer. All going to be measured in the end with the woke toxic healer. No matter how it looks, even if it's clear as day, the woke toxic healer will use anything that they can. Psychic, debris, emotions, the power of water, anything. To change the way that you feel, to confuse you. They will create obstacles for you, traps for you. When you make it out alive, you won't believe that you did. When you make it out alive, you'll be happier. You'll be super happy and you'll gain your bandwidth. But don't be afraid to fight the fight in the end. With the woke toxic healer, don't do it their way. Your only hope against the woke toxic healer is your historical behavior. All of the accumulated wealth. All of the accumulated exchange. But like we said, the woke toxic healer is going to attempt to exchange the toxic life they left you for currency. The woke toxic healer is a thief. The woke toxic healer is a thief. Signs along the way that you are actually working with the energy of the woke toxic healer. The relationship is going to feel imbalanced. Yet the relationship is going to feel like the best relationship you've ever had. A good woke toxic healer is always going to feel a little bit confusing, conflicting, because they have a lot of things that resonate at the time. They look better than the average person. They treat you better than the average person. They probably treated you really well. Almost, in some levels, flashy. They dedicated some nice things to your, they gave you some nice things in the beginning of your relationship that lets you know that, people just don't do this every day. They manage their time well, they're structured. But understand, the woke toxic healer, one of the things that makes them so toxic is that you're on a level very compatible with them. They really want you there. They give you most of their time. Oh, and in case we forgot to mention, the woke toxic healer, if it's in the case of a romantic relationship, you have a lot of hot sexual affinity with them. Don't be afraid to leave the woke toxic healer ahead of time due to their inconsistent and one-sided behavior. This may be challenging because, like we mentioned, the woke toxic healer is more attractive than the average person. And maybe a little bit more than that. They have good morals. They're hard to detect, but they have something in their nature. Maybe jealousy, envy. There's some inconsistencies. But there's enough positive things. It just doesn't add up. The lifestyle and the things that they do just don't add up. Don't be afraid to take the leap. To your positive outcome, cheers. We out here floating on a cloud of gratitude. We love you.